Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BlizzCon 2013 and to the World Championship Series Global Finals. We are on day 2 of 2, and today we're going to crown our StarCraft 2 World Champion. It's going to be an amazing day of StarCraft 2. We're about an hour and a half away from our first semi-final, so what we thought we'd do is we'd give you a bit of a treat this morning and give you something that we missed out on yesterday. Those of you that tuned into the eSports Plus stream at home, you'll have seen an epic game between Duck, oh my God, and Innovation. It was the most amazing game. So what we're going to do is we're going to join the game for you and show you that this morning. And your commentators for the game are Bitterdam.
Against Protoss players. And that could possibly work against him here. Certainly when, again, you consider what is likely to come from Duck. Gateway-centric, dare we say, abusive styles.
Yeah, but I don't think we should pretend that's all that Duck knows. He definitely knows more. He's a world-class pro display. He's proven this on multiple occasions. He's been around for a long time as well. Once upon a time won a small tournament in France, which gave him 5,000 euros, I believe. That was a very big payday, but it truly started getting big and serious for Duck when he decided to play WCS in Europe. Season 2 was fantastic for him. Even Season 3 was pretty damn good once more, as he even made it to the season finals in Toronto. He wasn't able to shine or excel there. He did defeat Bjorn, which was a good victory the first time, then he lost the second time he played against him.
I think it also has to be said about Innovation that while he started out as maybe the hottest player in the world, recently his results have not been the same. He's, in fact, like 50-50 in his last 20 games. He's like 9-19, or 9-4-19.
I was about to say 9-19. There's no way, Ben. Lie. Innovation can play against Sorky all day, every day, and he still won't go 9-19. Our first map is going to be Frost, which is a relatively new map. Of course, it's been around since WCS Season 3, but it's not as old school as, for instance, an Echelon Waste or a Belshire Vestige. It's a 4-player map. It's a big map. It's also a map that I think, as Protoss ban, it's kind of hard to defend 3 locations at once, because you don't just have to worry about drops, you have to worry about just run-bys of bio units, and as silly as that sounds, if 6 Marines just run into your turret base and they're not being dropped and you only cover the drop pads, they're going to pick off a lot of pros before you're able to deal with it.
Yeah, taking a third at all is going to be hard here for a Protoss player. I almost cheekily have to say that I don't know that Duck's going to mind. But we will see if he does, in fact, try to play the big macro game against Innovation.
Blink Stalkers are pretty popular on this map, and I think that the Blink Stalkers is not something that's unheard of for a player like Duck as well. But I don't know, he might just surprise us first map, open up Nexus first, try to create a nice economic lead, stay on 2 bases for a while, probe up, and then take a turret. But of course, everyone is thinking Duck is going to all in. Duck is going to proxy Void Race, proxy Oracles, Duck is going to do a Gateway all in or anything, that if he just busts out the Nexus first over here and creates a nice economic lead for himself, would not be all that bad.
Gives him a lot of flexibility to play games with his opponent and get inside his head. So we will see.
Imagine he's able to bust out the Nexus first in game number 1 here on Frost. Gets away with it, creates an awesome scenario for himself, and wins. Game number 2 does the complete opposite, proxies his target and wins. Before you know it, Ben, Duck has 3 match points against Innovation.
And Red Eye would be very happy.
And I have to kiss Red Eye's feet.
Oh man.
Yes.
That would be...
Either way, guys, we are ready for our second series of the day here at the eSports Plus stream. The first one just finished between Hero and SOS. SOS was able to win that one 3-1. Now we are going to watch perhaps the overwhelming favorite over here in the left top side of the map. He is, of course, Acers Innovation. All I want to do in live, Ben, is announce Sorky as player.
Yeah? Yeah. You might have a chance later today.
No.
It could happen.
Yeah, okay, much later. That's fine.
Innovation's opponent in the bottom right-hand corner of Frost, the blue Protoss player, Season 2 European champion. His name is Duck.
Duck. Quack.
Yeah.
If he wins this series, Ben, and he's going to play on the main stage later today, I definitely think he's going to get the people quacking over here.
Oh, man. Canada was quacking up for Duck.
Yeah, he didn't disappoint.
No.
He took a couple of games, took a series. Didn't make it to the playoffs, but showed some good games.
Showed some skills.
Here we go. Taking a look, of course, at the Chrono Boost, how that's being spent. Barracks going down for Innovation. Innovation not taking any risk, not going command center first. Even though cross map on Frost, it wouldn't have been too crazy. And good old Duck, what are you going to bring to the show here at BlizzCon 2013? He's been working very hard towards this tournament, especially in this PvT matchup. Ben, I think anything could potentially happen. I just hope, that he doesn't get nervous, because I do think that DuckDuck is a player that would probably get a little more nervous than Innovation. It was also so obvious in the interviews, Innovation saying, I'll be satisfied if I make top 2. And DuckDuck also having more of the mindset of us, you know, like, oh, it's amazing that you already made it to BlizzCon. Like, hell, I wish I haven't made it to BlizzCon as a player. I got close, but Johan Mello eliminated me of the Warcraft 3 qualifiers.
What a good friend.
Yes.
It's a gas opening for Innovation, Kev, so I think we're going to see a Reaper.
That wouldn't be crazy at all. Nothing wrong with a good old Reaper into a command center. Unless he's going to proxy a factory or drop a factory in the main. But I don't think that's going to happen. It will most likely be a Reaper into a reactor, into a fast expand. It's just such a common, safe and solid opening in TVPs. And if there's one thing that we know about Innovation, Ben, is that we know that he likes solid and safe.
Yeah, he plays a very deliberate style. He's actually been criticized for being too predictable in that regard. And, you know, maybe that's something that he's going to have to change if he's going to continue to be successful at the highest level. But it hasn't really failed him yet. I mean, he is the second highest WCS points winner this year. You know, people call him the best Terran in the world for a reason.
Reactor going down, command center going down as well. DuckDuck on the other side of the map just drops the Nexus immediately without even scouting what's going on. So far, this hasn't been a crazy game of DuckDuck yet. Everything is very safe, very solid. And, you know, as we know it from Protoss players, this could have been anyone.
Yep. There's, was that second barracks going on? Yep, second barracks going down there for Innovation. His Reaper is doing all the initial scouting. So Innovation did not send an SCV across the map. He doesn't actually know where DuckDuck has spawned yet.
He did send an SCV.
Oh. Well, then I'm just a liar.
You are a liar. But it's okay, Ben. I'll give you a Roddy card.
Thanks, Kev. I need more of these.
The current ratio is 4-1, and Roddy and beta card. Here comes the Reaper hopping into the main base of DuckDuck. Oh, this is a great moment for Innovation. He's going to fly in. He's going to be a cool Twilight Council in the back of your base. Now I wonder, this doesn't mean anything yet. This could be a Dark Templar opening. This could be defensive Blink Stalkers. This could be even aggressive Blink Stalkers just for map control. Or it could be super aggressive Blink Stalkers and go all in. Just because you scout it doesn't mean you know what's going on.
Blink Stalker all-ins are pretty wildly popular on the North America server. These Korean guys tend to show us a different metagame.
I'm just double checking to see if Innovation actually did see the Twilight Council. Yes, he did. That's why he backed off immediately with the Reaper. He's like, well, that's all I need to see. Blink is being researched. We're going to keep a close eye. How many gateways will go down? How is he going to spend his Chrono Boost energy? He's Chrono Boosting out Blink, Ben. That gives me the feeling that this is not defensive Blink, because if you want to just get a couple of Dark Templars to deal with the drops and whatnot, you don't need to Chrono Boost the heck out of Blink. You just need to get a couple of Stalkers here and there. Blink will finish up.
Look at this Reaper. Oh my god, Innovation, you're so good. Only saw that probe for a moment, but pulled the Reaper back and smacked it down, so no proxy pylons going down for DuckDuck. That Blink upgrade's about halfway done, so just a matter of time, Kev, before DuckDuck's able to start trying to get something done with these Stalkers.
You know, we might still see him just try to blink into the main base, pick off Stim, and then blink out and just turn it into a normal game by knowing that he just bought himself a crazy amount of time. But I think it's unlikely. I think it's pretty serious that DuckDuck is going to commit big time to this. Innovation is going to scout, see if the Twilight is still there. He could have seen the lights go up as well, because if we take a close look at the Twilight Council, we can see that there's always lights moving up if you're researching something.
A good second check there for Innovation, but also great Stalker positioning from DuckDuck to make sure that that Reaper did not live to scout another day. Extra gateways going down now for DuckDuck.
First Marauder's in production already as well. We have one Marauder out on the map. The Marauder count is extremely important in a situation like this, because as awesome as Marines are, eventually it's going to be very easy for Stalkers to just pick away at those Marines and pick them off one by one by one. DuckDuck is currently at 36 pros band. This is something he can transition out of, but it also depends on how many Stalkers he's going to sacrifice, how many Stalkers will he warp in. At the moment we don't have too many Stalkers yet, even though a single bunker is kind of risky, but the moment Stim finishes up with the Marauders that Innovation has on the field, I think he might be okay. He should be okay.
Innovation playing with some extreme confidence, just dropping those mules there in the natural second bunker.
Definitely has to pull more SFVs, because you don't want to lose the bunkers.
He's got so few units here, and here comes DuckDuck. He is going to push forward. Innovation's army's out of position. First bunker will go down. Time Warp going down as well. Stim has finished. So, and another great Time Warp here for DuckDuck. He's going to start microing with everything he has.
Doesn't kill the Mothership Core yet, though. So far, this has been going very well for DuckDuck. DuckDuck killing the bunkers, not really losing too many Stalkers yet. If Innovation stims again, his army is going to be very low on HP.
Micro from DuckDuck, just phenomenal. The army of Innovation melting away, and DuckDuck is in a very dangerous position right now. Medevacs are here, but will they save the day? Are there enough bio units left over?
It's running very low. Innovation's going to have to show off some sick. Perhaps Micro picking up Marauders. He's going to go to the high ground. That's kind of smart. Makes it harder for these Stalkers to pick up the Marauders. Innovation needs units, man, and he needs them ASAP. All that he has right now are 4 Marauders and 2 Medevacs.
From DuckDuck has been absolutely superb. He's blinking back every single Stalker individually. DuckDuck's got just 4 Marauders and 2 Marines. And the unit count for DuckDuck is through the roof. 16 Stalkers out against basically no Terran. Innovation's in so much trouble.
Another time warp going down. GG. DuckDuck takes game number 1 here with a style that's perhaps not that surprising, perhaps in the way that he went for it. It wasn't 1 bay, it was 2 bays. Not of a very high economy of just 36 probes, but a great timing ban. And I think Innovation got a little overconfident. Yes, you scouted everything, Innovation, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to defend.
Oh, man.
You still need to keep those bunkers alive at all costs. Even if it costs you 10, 12 SCVs, you need to keep those bunkers alive. And he just let that bunker die a little too easily.
And just like that, everybody that predicted 3-0 Innovation,
which includes myself.
Yeah, well, me too.
Jeff predicted it 3-1.
Yes, he did. So Jeff is still in the running for this one. Paul, of course, still in the running as well. Red Eye.
I don't know what Paul predicted. Probably 3-0 for DuckDuck.
I think he predicted 3-2 for DuckDuck. But time marches on, Kev, as our second map will be Whirlwind. The admin's wasting no time getting this going, keeping it moving nice and quickly.
You know, Ben, as awesome as it was from DuckDuck, and his Blink Stalker Micro was great, but this is something that we can expect of pro displays on this level. As long as there are not a lot of Marauders, as long as there is no crazy amount of Medevacs to heal up that bio army over and over again, they are not going to lose Stalkers just against a few Stim Marines or even non-Stim Marines and non-Stim Marauders. It just doesn't happen. DuckDuck is one of the best pro displays in the world. He is going to micro the Stalkers back. He's going to save them. He's not going to lose any of them unless the army of Innovation snowballs out of control. That's why I think it's so crazy that Innovation, put such a low priority to his front. I can understand he was worried about the main and just be like, hey, as long as Stim finishes up, I'll be fine. But you do need at least a little bit of cover to, create a bridge to the time where your first Medevacs start popping out.
So few bunkers, man. 1 bunker in the main, 1 bunker in the natural. The second bunker goes down in the natural a little bit too late.
Yeah, but he didn't even pull the SCVs to keep the 1 bunker alive.
Yeah, but I mean, when you see other players dealing with those kinds of builds, you often see things as many as 5 bunkers.
Yeah, MMA went overboard against MC. It's like 7 bunkers to an high ground. And it was still hard for MMA because on a certain point MMA had more bunkers than units. Anyways, we are back in game number 2 here of what I want to say, Innovation versus DuckDuck, BlizzCon 2013. It's going to be played on Whirlwind. Over here on the left bottom side of the map, Ben, we got the man who was considered the best player in the world 6 months ago and is still widely considered as the best Terran player in the world and one of the absolute best players in the world as well. That's a lot of best in the world and whatnot. It is, of course, Innovation representing Team Acer. Woo. No one can hear us other than Ben.
Crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Crowd goes wild. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner of Whirlwind. The blue Protoss player now leading 1-0. His name is DuckDuck.
He's quacking his way through BlizzCon, Ben. 1 quack at a time.
He's gonna need to bust out the flying V, Kev. I think he's got a long way to go still.
Additional Chronoboost Eye. He uses that little probe of which Todd is obsessed by, where he drops the gate and then that probe squeezes through the pilot and then the Nexus. I have no idea why Todd is so obsessed with that, but he thinks it's such an amazing little trick. If Todd was here right now, he would go crazy and he would talk about it for a minute.
His little probe is so hard to do this.
I try all the time, it just never works for me.
My probe always gets stuck.
No, really, man, it's so sick. Oh, good old Jan Mello.
We love to have some fun at Todd's expense. SCV Scout on its way out for Innovation. He has once again gone 1 racks into gas. So once again, I'm expecting we'll see a Reaper.
I don't think there was anything wrong with Innovation's build. It was just him underreacting, and I find that crazy because he scouted it, he identified it, and above all, he is playing against DuckDuck. Like if you play against maybe like Oz or maybe even Crazy Rain, and you scout such an early Twilight Gun, so okay, yeah, he might get Blink. He might put on some fake pressure, he might try to be annoying and force an overreaction. But this is DuckDuck after all, and everyone has been talking about this since the bracket was announced. Okay, DuckDuck is going to be crazy aggressive against Innovation, and the fact that he gets away with it in game number 1, Ben, kind of blows me away.
Did Innovation make the mistake of looking past DuckDuck, perhaps? I don't know.
This is something that you talked about.
One gate expand. Going down now for DuckDuck.
very safe and solid opening in this matchup these days. There's nothing really that can catch you completely off guard. And even if some super crazy all-in lands and maybe pick off your Nexus, you should still be able to defend your main with a Photon Overcharge as well. So very solid build, nothing crazy so far. Innovation is going to get a good scout off with his Reaper immediately, and he's going to be happy to find Duck.
It's going to show up just as the Mothership Core is finishing.
Yeah, he might be able to pick off a probe if he micros his Reaper very well. It's hard to do, but this is Innovation after all. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a probe.
Well, looks like he is going to be content just to scout all the corners and then get out of there. Doesn't want to lose that Reaper.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Has seen all that there is to see, and now he will dance away.
Rather keeps it alive, as he knows that it's going to be very important to get an additional scout off. Now it's a little harder to do that on Whirlwind as it is on Frost, because of course on Frost there are edges where you can just like blink, or not blink, but jump into the main base at all. From Whirlwind, the only way to get in the main base for this Reaper Man is via the natural, and of course that's where Duck is going to position his units early on. So it's not going to be as easy for Innovation as it was on Frost to figure out what he's playing against.
Yes, sir. Same exact opening this time from Innovation. He's got the second barracks down. He'll be starting up his upgrades momentarily. And Duck still hasn't shown us what his plan is. A couple more gates built there at the top of his map, but no tech down yet. What are you up to, Duck?
He might put on a little bit of aggression, but it doesn't have to go all out. It might just be a very safe opening over here as well. Even though just like 2 additional gates before a Robo, that's perhaps a little too safe. Taking a look at the worker count right now, we can see that it's 29 probes against 23 SCVs, so this is very standard for this phase in the game as well. Or 24 as one SCV just popped. He's like, I'm here with my power drill.
Robo goes down now for Duck, so he's taking the super standard approach.
Yeah, this is super safe, because most of the time you would just go 1 gate Robo, 2 additional gates, because then you have your observers out a little bit quicker. Your observers represent all your vision, and you want to know how many Rexes did my opponent make. When are those medevacts spawning? Do you have to worry about the straight up attack at the front, or do you have to worry about drops early on? Is he very marine heavy or not? But Duck went the other route, Ben.
Innovation, you're so good. Sneaks the Reaper in once more, and he will get another very thorough scout of the main base here.
Bunch of gateway units being wiped in though, and there is no bunker over here. Innovation, why did you play this without a bunker, Ben? And without Stim, this is going to be a little risky.
Once again, Innovation finds himself in a tough spot, losing so many SCVs, even being forced to pull workers out of the main.
This is very bad.
Kevin, I don't know if there's anything you can actually do against this, because Duck's just going to keep warping in.
Second time warp going down as well. Duck is going to have 8 Stalker or 7 Stalkers soon at the front of Innovation's door. Are you serious, Ben?
Keep falling. The Mothership Core is going to die, but who cares about that? Stalkers are just going to walk forward. Every single Marine is going to be focused down.
Unbelievable.
Duck is, oh my God. The worker count right now is 21 to 40. The Stalkers have breached the main, and they're walking straight forward for the win.
There's going to be a Widowmine out soon for Innovation, but a single Widowmine, there's just no way that that's going to save the day. Yes, he has a few Marauders, but you know, there's just way too much Protoss over here. There's so many Protoss units in the main base of Innovation now.
Stim is going to finish, I think.
No.
Oh, why are you going to unburr the Widowmine? Now it's going to get focused down. And the Stalkers are kind of trapped, but they're microing pretty well. A single Stalker being isolated there, but so many SCVs being killed here. It's 21 workers killed thus far, and more going down still. Duck continues to warp in, and Innovation taps out. Good game. Duck leads 2-0.
This is one of the moments where I'm just not sure if I'm actually watching this or if I'm just dreaming about StarCraft again, which I do very, very often.
I don't know what to say. I would never have predicted Duck to go up 2-0 in this series, but this is kind of what you talked about as we were jumping into Frost. What if Duck tricks Innovation a couple times and finds himself up 2-0? Now he has so much freedom in his builds.
Duck can do whatever the hell he wants 3 games on a row in PvT. This is a nightmare scenario for a Terran, even if you're Innovation, Ben, even if you're as good as Innovation. And the worst thing is, both games, I feel Innovation had a reasonable idea of what was going on. He didn't see that pylon going up near the natural, and he didn't see that it was 1 gate into 2 additional gates and then Robo. By the time he scouted that, there were already units on the other side of the map, but why on earth are you playing TVP on Whirlwind without a bunkering in natural? That's just... I mean, so crazy to me.
These players at this level, we talk about it all the time, they want to cut corners and take advantage of mistakes. Innovation is perhaps cutting all the wrong corners, Kev.
I mean, he's definitely getting caught off guard twice now. with his pants down. The Terran pants of no bunker. Because if Terrans would wear pants, it would definitely be a bunker.
Bunker pants.
Yeah, those would be some sick pants.
I think those would be really cool pants.
I can't believe this, man. Red Eye is sitting there somewhere out there, and he's just laughing at all of us because he was the only one who was actually thought that this was going to happen. It is not over yet, though, so all Terran fans, don't worry too much. This is far from over. We are still looking at, the man who was considered the best player in the world 6 months ago and is still one of the absolute best players in the world. He is crazy. He's a machine. If he gets to a certain phase of the game, he is an unstoppable force. But right now, he's just not taking the necessary measures going up against a player like Duck Duck.
I can't believe Duck Duck was able to do that off just 3 gates.
Yeah, but it's like he just walked across the map, man, with 2 Stalkers. Then he had a warp-in pylon, which I don't think he would even use if he saw, there's a bunker or there are 2 bunkers over there. But the Mothership Core gives him high ground vision, and he's like, oh, there's nothing, let me warp in 3 additional Stalkers. And now I got 5 Stalkers, which is normally a lot in that phase of the game. But now he's like, no, this is completely okay. Because these are just Marines without a bunker. I got high ground vision, I drop a time warp. I can out-micro you, and there is nothing Innovation can do from that point on.
All of a sudden, Innovation finds himself down 0-2 against one of the most dangerous Protoss players at BlizzCon.
Everyone who filled in the BlizzCon bracket, Ben, is holding their heart now.
Yeah. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Yansu, the red Terran player. He's trailing 0-2, considered to be the greatest Terran on the planet. His name is Innovation. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner of the map, the blue Protoss player. What crazy build comes next? He is Duck Duck. And what would you do if you were Duck Duck?
What would I do? I think from this point on I would proxy a Stargate, man. I mean, why not? You're up 2-0. What's the worst thing that could happen? That you're up 2-1. And this is one of the sickest maps to proxy Stargates as well. It can be kind of tough to scout, even though we're starting to figure out a little better. Yangsu is not as new as it was 1 or 2 months ago. But still, we've seen so many crazy all-ins. And I actually think in a certain point, is this going to be the second pilot, Ben?
I think you're on to something here, Kev, as a proxy pylon will go down. Interestingly, Kevin, the next map in this series is Belshir Vestige. This is Duck Duck's worst map and Innovation's best. So Duck Duck may be wanting to end it here.
Now, Innovation is good enough, Ben, to immediately say, like, okay, red alert, red alert. MMA came to him in the break as well, and MMA probably said, like, hey, man, do you never listen to me when we chat on Skype and we have like a drink together and we talk about all the Protoss players that all in us all the time? Because I told you that this guy does it all the time. And Innovation was like, oh yeah, sorry MMA, you just keep talking about it. I've kind of forgot about it. And now it's just like, you know what? I'm going to have to worry about this. Expand on the high ground as well, Ben. Yeah. This is very smart. Look at that rally point Innovation on top of things.
Yep, that proxy pylon is not going to go unscouted. Should not go unscouted.
If you guys wonder why there's no Stargate yet, that is because he has to wait until the Cybernetic Squad finishes up. And I actually think he might not do it, Ben, because he saw that Marine is already on the quest. This could still just be a pilot to go for some gateway aggression of it as well. I think originally he wanted... No, Stargate is going down, but it's going down in the main base. Because I think he's worried about that pylon being unpowered multiple times. Proxying the second pylon is something that the European Protoss player Mouse Mana likes to do. He did it quite a few times.
And it does create some paranoia. Certainly, I mean, we can see Innovation is very frantically looking around to see where is that hidden pylon.
3 racks as well this time before tacking into something.
SCV will find it and begin trying to disassemble it. It'll take a while.
No, he has a power drill, man. He'll be okay. Now he's just figuring out, he's like, shouldn't there be something else here?
It seems like SCV should do bonus damage to buildings to me.
Because they have a power drill.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that happen.
Makes perfect sense.
I think SCV should just do more damage in general, man. Like the beta card says, why don't they do more damage? Big game here for Innovation. Innovation playing this very safe from this point on. There are certain Stargate all-ins on this map which are so hard to defend that even when you scout it, even when you're aware of it, Ben, it is almost impossible to defend both the low ground and the high ground. We saw that pretty recently in one of the games that the Muslim played. I forgot who the Protoss player was. They played in WCS Challenger League. Help me out here, Ben.
His name was...
Top? Yes, it was Top. The Chinese Protoss player Top.
No, of course, Zootop.
Yep, Zootop. And Zurdo just had a crazy Void Rail in here, so this might still be the case. So Innovation playing this as safe as he possibly can is not a wrong call at all, Ben. Just keep that command center on the high ground, rely on your bunkers, worry about oracles, and just get as many bio units out there as possible, because eventually with 2 orbital commands on one base, you're still going to completely crush the Protoss economy.
And Duck is pretty serious, Kev. He's going to go ahead and make that pylon on the low ground, where he will be able to.
He's Duck.
To warp in more. This is now 1 base. This is next level aggression. No Nexus anywhere in sight. Scan goes down for Innovation. He sees.
He sees most of it, not everything.
Sees a lot.
So far, so good.
He spots the Stargate. He sees the one of the extra gateways. Oh, and the Duck's going to walk right up the ramp, but there is a bunker there.
This is so good for Innovation, though, because now he said, like, oh, you have quite a few units there already. I should pull more SCVs. 4 SCVs is not enough, Innovation. Pull some more. You don't want to lose that bunker.
Second bunker could also be a proper decision.
I like it a lot.
How much time is Duck going to take before he goes for this? He's going to walk right up the ramp. Force fields are going to go down. SCVs are not going to be able to repair. Oracles very quickly killing everything outside of the bunkers. The bunker goes down.
But there are so many Marines still alive that I think this time that second bunker should finish up, right, Ben? That one Marauder soaking up a little bit of damage.
Should. The SCV does not get focused. There's only 5 Marines.
So far, so good. He needs to get the Marines in the bunker ASAP. He does get that. So he's out of the woods for now. He's producing Marines 3 at a time. If these Zealots disappear, then I think Innovation has defended and he has double orbital, so he's creating a massive advantage for himself. It doesn't matter how many SCVs he loses, as long as he keeps that bunker alive and he stabilizes.
And that bunker will stay alive. More SCVs pulled off the line to repair. And as the dust settles, it's 19 SCVs to 23 probes.
And that is a great position for Innovation to be in. As silly as that sounds, some people might be like, isn't 23 better than 19? Yes, guys, that's correct. But we are talking about a double orbital command over here for the Terran player. 1 mule represents 4.5 workers per minute, if I have to believe Andre, Greetorp, Hengsha. And of course I do when it comes down to math. So basically, Innovation is way ahead in the economy right now.
23 is better than 19, but 2 is better than 1, Kev. And that's how many bases Innovation's about to have against Duck, who's only now dropping that Nexus. Innovation's in great shape. Duck, don't look away!
Oh, that's such a sick little hit squad over here by Innovation, man. I love what I'm seeing. This is the Innovation that we know, the Innovation that we expected at BlizzCon. He had some time off. He had time to prepare for these games. The first 2 games, it didn't look like the real Innovation. But this game, man, he's all over everything. Even though I still wish he put a few more SCVs, because he was definitely playing with my heart.
Man, he was... It's a dangerous game that Innovation plays, but he's also the best player in the world, Kev, perhaps.
There are a couple of Marines hidden in his middle line. If they stim, they should be able to pick up this Oracle. Okay, maybe not, as Duck is on top of his control as well. Twilight Conster going down in the main base of Duck. That's interesting.
And how much longer does Duck have?
That's a 6 scan by Innovation.
Spots the Twilight. Sees all the gates. 29 probes to 26 SCVs. That national expansion has been landed, Kev. Innovation's income is going to be much better than Duck's. The supply is already starting to reflect it. 52 over 45.
Innovation definitely in the driving seat this game.
No longer neglecting bunkers.
No, right now he's going to have to take some time. This is not somebody that like, hey, this was a good hold early on. I'm ahead, so I can immediately win the game. You don't want to throw away the units. The Terran army truly only gets powerful once Stim is ready, once maybe +1 and combat shield are ready, and above all, the first medevacs enter the fray. Those medevacs are going to be in production soon, as I believe the starport is already finished up. There we go, first medevacs starting to hashtag roll out, hashtag in production. This is good news for Innovation, man. As soon as those 2 bad boys are on the field and the supply block ends, so you can actually start building them, he's going to be able to make something happen on the other side of the map. And it's going to be very hard for Duck not to take any crippling damage.
Oracle with a lot of damage, still trying to find openings. It might be able to fight these Marines. Maybe if they stim again.
A lot of damage or a lot of energy? A lot of potential damage.
All of those things. Of course, energy is what it has been saving up. And
maybe damage as well, Ben. It's just
oh no! Takes a lot of damage.
That's a great pickup there by Innovation. Innovation being active with these small hit spots on the map as well gives him more map control, gives him a better idea of what's going on. Of course, you don't want to scan all the time, as he did need those mules to recover from the economic damage he took early on.
The game sense, the timing. Innovation realizes
44 army supply against 18.
Yep.
Ow.
He's coming. And Storm is being chrono boosted as quickly as possible. Duck sees this army. that's beginning to emerge at his doorstep, and I don't know what he can really do about it.
This is, I mean, after the Innovation defended, Ben, it was pretty much curtains. It always takes a little while to truly show how far the Terran player is ahead. Photon Overcharge does kick in. Feedbacks will land on these medevacts immediately. That's a cute little move by Doc, but other than the Photon Overcharge, Ben, he just has 0 DPS in his army.
Yep. There are no more High Templar out either, so in spite of the fact that Storm is finishing up, there will be no way to cast it. 64 supply against 97. Much larger army for Innovation, who is just waiting for his chance to end this game.
Yeah, he's waiting for 2 additional medevacs to arrive so they can heal up these units a little bit, as feedback does hurt. And if Dr. had a few more units, those feedbacks would have been very smart. I'm not sure if he has another Photon Overcharge or not. We're going to figure that one out right now. No, he does not. So as soon as this one expires, Ben, Doc is in a lot of trouble.
More feedbacks go down, but there's just no army here for our Protoss player. Archon's going to be warped in, but it's not going to matter. Good game, and Innovation. He ain't done yet. The score now 2-1. Duck still leading, but Innovation still bleeding. He's not dead.
He is definitely bleeding, as he's still behind 1-2 in this series. We are, of course, playing best of 5. For everyone who just joined us on stream, this is a single elimination tournament, Ben. No second chances. Innovation has to win against Duck. He can't look past Duck. That's what everyone has been saying. I still feel he kind of did in the first 2 games. And even in game number 3, man, I can't believe he knows everything. He knows there is one base Protoss. He knows there's a single Stargate. He knows there are even pylons going down at the bottom of his ramp. And it's still a single bunker for so long. And it's still just like 3 SCVs being pulled. So risky.
He seems to prefer defending barely.
Yes.
As
I almost got a heart attack watching that last game, because as much as I love Duck, I would also love to see Innovation make a deep run, because I mean, if you think about 2013, Ben, you know, we've been around in StarCraft for a while now, and every year has the heroes. 2013 has definitely sort of been the year of Innovation. Not just Innovation, you know, a couple of other players, especially Deer as well in the last month, and overall Sorky extremely solid, and Rain in the earlier months of this year as well. But, you know, Innovation is one of those top guys of 2013.
Definitely.
And it would have been very sad to see him go out here 0-3, you know, when just being a shadow of his former self.
We definitely can't say that. He is still here, and he is still a very dangerous player. And, well, he's also still up against the ropes, Kev. 1-2 is the score. Belshir Vestige, our second map, or not our second map, our 4th map.
You know, I would have loved to see Duck still proxy the Stargate, but not do it at the spot where he dropped the pylon, maybe a little bit more to the left, and then just go with it, man. Like, if you want to go with it, then if you want to do it, you do it properly. And now he still proxied the Stargate, or he built the Stargate in his main. As I said, I guess he was afraid of the pylons being unpowered all the time, but that's also something that, you know, Innovation should have practiced, because you can't just pull a few workers, hope you pick up the probe, or hope you pick up the pylons, but if you don't, you sacrifice so much economy in the early stages of the game that it could have been game over.
Kev, our red Terran player, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Belshir Vestige. One of his best maps. He's never lost here against a Protoss player. His name is Innovation.
For real?
For real.
Are you sure about this fact?
Never lost here against a Protoss player in the WCS. How about that?
I believe.
I can't speak to other tournaments necessarily. His opponent at the top left-hand
corner. Or ladder. Innovation just never lost, and Belshir has like 284 wins and 0 losses. It's like, wow, they're pretty good at this game.
The blue Protoss in the top left is 2-2 on Belshir Vestige against Terran players in the WCS. His name is Duck.
And you know, Ben, 2-1 lead is comfortable, but as we saw as well in the PvP series, it can all even up so closely. Even though SOS was able to close it out 3-1, if it goes 2-2 and it goes to the rubber match, well, not officially the rubber match, but to the deciding game number 5, anything can truly happen. So this is still... obviously, every single game is super important here at BlizzCon. Why are you giggling?
This game is spectated by Alexandre. I don't know how to pronounce this in French.
Alexandre Funka Verdier. Follow Funka.
He will correct me later.
Yeah, it's Funka.
Because it really bothers Funka when his name is pronounced incorrectly. he and Todd were
Alexandre
whining about this in French.
Anyways, we should keep a close eye on the openings, man. Once more, this is a big game for Duck as well. Yes, he had that comfortable 2-0 lead. The proxy Stargate, that was kind of like his crazy, cheesy play. It didn't work out. Now I would say you're going to have to play solid. And so far, as crazy as it sounds, yes, we are in the 4th game of this series. I don't feel we've seen a straight-up PvT yet. And that's not just Duck's fault. That's also because Innovation is cutting corners and playing greedy. But it's not been going to the stage of the game where we're going to have Bio, Medivacs out, you know, all the upgrades, Combat Shield, whatnot, against a solid expanding Protoss player that's going to defend for a while and that's going to try to go up to 3 bases without a massive advantage for either side. Yes, we've seen Medivacs. Yes, we've seen a few, you know, stint Bio units here and there, but never in an even stage in the game. Either Innovation super far ahead or Innovation super far behind and just having 2 units. I would love to see just a solid straight-up game between these two.
Innovation is mixing it up a little bit, getting his command center on the low ground this time. But beyond that, actually still no gas. What are you doing? Fast 3 CC?
That's just a no gas fast spend. He could drop 2 additional Rexes behind
yeah,
this.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Which is like, he's going to get slightly more Marines out of the 3 Rex opening than he's getting of this 2 Rex with the Reaper and the Tech Lab, because that just takes a little while before that one truly starts kicking in. And he's probably afraid of more aggression, so he's going to play it very safe. At least that's what I think he's going to do, and drop a 3rd Rex before going into gas. And you know, Ben, I like it.
Yeah. Nexus still not down. There goes. Finally, Duck drops that Nexus.
No, this is a little tricky, but since there's no Stalker over here, there's nothing to worry about.
If only it could have been an opportunity for Duck to do a little bit of damage, but for now, easily repelled. Bunker will be completed soon, and with it, Duck is going to feel much less confident in his ability to poke forward.
A save innovation here, Ben, with the 3 Rex before gas, and I like it. I think that's definitely what he wants to do in this game. This is game number 4, but it could be the deciding game already for innovation. If he loses its exit, he's going home, and 2013, at least on the absolute biggest stage, will be done for him. He will have a GSTL finals later, which, you know, is not too bad either. But
yeah,
it's no BlizzCon.
Pretty prestigious team league.
Yep.
Hidden probe. Crouching probe.
But this time it is, we can see Doctor going for the 1 gate into the robotics facility, so this is already different than what we saw on Whirlwind, where it was 3 gates into a robo, so I'm going to try some gateway aggression, maybe do some damage and transition out of it if I can, or I'm going to do some gateway aggression and win if my opponent is playing greedy, which was the case. This time, even if he drops 2 additional gates, which is not the case, he would have still had his observers much quicker, so more scouting information.
Pretty sick scout, man. An SCV able to walk right up into the main base at this stage of the game.
And innovation immediately pulls all the SCVs, and he's like, wow, a Forge and a Robo? You're doing quite the opposite over here. Huh? Let's see how you're going to deal with a bunch of Marines on the other side of the map. This Zealot will spot it.
This is great by Duck, though. Seeing this, it will allow him at least to react in some way.
Yeah, and he can also start fighting this already far away from his base. And Stalkers, of course, are better in a wide open field than Marines, so he can get like 4, 6, 8 shots off for free before the battle truly starts, and that can actually be game-changing in the early stage of the game. Or you can just sit back and rely on Photon Overcharge.
Well, Innovation looks like he's not completely convinced that he wants to commit to that. He's going to turn these Marines around and send them back home.
But what he did do is scare Doc, maybe forcing an additional warp in, maybe spend a chrono boost on the gateway, which could have been a chrono boost on the Nexus. It's all the small things, Ben, because after all, StarCraft 2 is a game of inches.
Okay.
Ain't that right?
It is. It is. For a moment, I thought Warp Gate wasn't done yet, but of course, that's ridiculous. There we see it. All finished up. Thanks, Funka.
That would be ridiculous, Ben.
Observer is going to skirt into the main base.
This is the first time we're going to see a real straight-up game, Ben.
Yeah.
As Doc is researching armor as well. Now, if he wants to go with Blink Stalker aggression, it's unlikely that he researches armor. It would have been attacked majority of the time. Because, of course, with Blink Stalkers, mostly the shields take damage and not the actual armor. So researching armor for a Blink Stalker all-in makes no sense. That's a quick Templar Archives, though. And that does make me wonder, Ben, is this for defensive purposes? Or are you going to see some Archon Zealot with +2 armor upgrades and style that innovation, a style that SOS used a lot back in the days?
Let's see, there is a pylon over near the 3rd base. So
what a massive scan here for innovation.
That's
of course,
huge.
Doc kind of made it easy on him, but there is absolutely nothing that innovation doesn't see.
Money scan.
Keep thinking about SOS for some reason.
The all-knowing eye of innovation has seen everything that Duck is planning, and he's going to use this as an opportunity to push out on the map once more. He'll chase the Zealot off this Zelnaka tower, or I guess Stalker.
Duck is going already up to 50 probes, so I find it unlikely, Ben, he wants to stick on 2 bases forever, because there is no need for him to go on up to 50 probes if he wants to make something 2-base or 2-base magic happen. He might just go up to feedback, or rely on feedback to deal with the drops, get a 1 or 2 Archons and then some Immortals, and then go up to 3 bases. We will see.
It's a pretty big Terran army by comparison. 21 army supply to 41 army supply. Duck's going to have to be a little bit careful. He does have Photon Overcharge. He will immediately cast it.
On the other side of the map, we can see the third base going down for innovation. This is, of course, something that's extremely important. He can still be active with these units out on the map. He can even commit quite a bit to his attacks and to his drops as long as he does some damage with it and he doesn't throw away all units. But behind this, he does have that economic lead, or at least he's going to have an economic lead in the near future. Oh, he's going to stim in. This is a crazy move. Storm is not ready yet.
Oh,
is he actually going to be able to snipe the Nexus over here? That would be so massive.
The Nexus will go down, and then the medevacs are going to load up, but can they get away? Yes, they both escaped just in the nick of time, and a huge pick off there for innovation keeps the majority of those units alive. He's taken a third base. Duck has been smacked down to one base, and now what's he going to do?
I think he's going to try to counterattack as he knows that one of those medevacs is extremely low on HP. The units might be a little bit out of position, and innovation has to defend 3 locations at once. But still, Ben, if he's not rebuilding this Nexus in ASAP, he is super all in, and I don't see this work. This is a phase in the game where innovation has a bigger army, and sure, that Archon is scary, but there's no way that Duck can make this work, Ben.
There is a warp prism with the army. 2 pylons just finished up in the natural, so Duck can make a big warp in.
Okay, that's a lot of Archon. Storm is ready as well, but he's not going to rely on Storm. Did he even cancel Storm? Yes, he cancelled Storm. So that's just him saying, I'm not going to turn this into late game, Ben. He cancelled Storm. He's going all out. Duck wants to finish off innovation right here, right now. I don't see it happen, but maybe. Archons are pretty scary.
This is it, Kev. One fight to win them all. Innovation backing all the way back into a corner of his natural. Realizing that this is the stand that he has to make. Here comes innovation. He's going to push forward. He's going to try to pick off the warp prism. That's going to be huge. Warp prism goes down. That's going to make it much harder for Duck to reinforce. And innovation with SCVs and all of his army is going to push Duck back. Duck will be dropping a Nexus now in his natural, realizing that he's not going to end the game right here. But a better fight on the high ground. Archon's dealing a great deal of damage. Zealot's trying to come in from the other side, but it doesn't matter. Good game gets called. Innovation cleans up Duck.
And just like that, we're all back to even, and it will come down to a single best of 1 to figure out who is going to advance to the quarterfinals here in BlizzCon 2013.
Man. It's getting it's getting a little bit dicey all of a sudden.
Do you really think it's getting dicey?
Who was up 2-0 is now even.
And once more, Ben, I don't feel that we saw that PVT or TVP or however you want to look at it in matchup that we know, and that I think a lot of fans love as well, where it's just, you know, player dropping over and over again and another player defending. Eventually we're going to get Storms, the good old High Templar against the Ghost War. It's none of that. Innovation just steaming in. Duck slightly losing focus of Innovation's army, being worried about drops in the main, instead not having units in the correct position, and just losing the Nexus like that is a pretty big mistake. Like, that should not happen in that phase of the game.
Super painful. And hey, man, hats off to Innovation for seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, he jumped on it.
Capitalizing on it. A truly razor thing.
Eye of the tiger, the sense of a killer.
Yeah. We move on to Acheron Wastes for game number 5, and well, all I can really say here is that Duck, he's 1-3 on Acheron Wastes in PVT.
You know what I'm gonna do, Ben? If Innovation actually comes back after being down 0-2 in this series, he evened it up right now. If he's going to win this series, I'm just gonna walk up to him and give him a Roddy card. I'll even sign it for him. Well, Innovation, I was there when you did this.
Spotting in the bottom right-hand corner of Acheron Waste. Kev, he's undefeated in TVP on this map. 5-0 in the WCS. His name is Innovation. And his opponent in the top left-hand corner was at one point leading 2-0 in this series. Now he finds himself at match point. His name is Duck.
You know what I find crazy as well, Ben? The moment that Innovation was down 0-2, I think any other player in the world would have been like, at least a deep breath, a big sigh, or something, like some sign of frustration or stress. It looked like he didn't care at all. He's just like, yeah.
His face never changed, his hands never came off the keyboard.
And when May walked over to him, he's like, hey, you're playing for real, man. This is for real. And he's like, oh.
And he's like, I know, get lost. Put on a show for the fans.
Oh man, if Innovation is able to just go for the reverse comeback after being down 0-2, that would be a spectacular way to finish off, or to start up actually, his BlizzCon run. Innovation can go very, very far. One of the big favorites, I think, to take it all. At least one of the top 4 favorites, I'd say. Man, he was kind of on the ropes already. He's coming back.
Showing some pretty incredible poise. Innovation he's really seen every side of tournament play, Kev. He's been up and lost games and series. He's been down and he's come back, and he's showing some of that right here.
He's traveled to tournaments without much success. He's come into tournaments as a big favorite and actually live up to that expectation. And not many people who can say that. Once more, Ben, I think this second probe, or I think this probe might be up to something. Because this, no, never mind. There's a second pylon in the right top side of the base that I missed. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
Sneaky pylon. That doesn't mean this little guy can't build another one, though.
Nah, I have faith in this little guy, man. That's a good guy. I think Innovation is once more going to rely on what he knows best, just well, actually what he thinks is best against crazy Protoss players, and that's of course kind of the case with Duck, as Duck is a little crazy, and going for the one Rex fast expand into 2 additional Rexes, just a very safe opening. You get a lot of Marines out. Yes, it is a little slower. Yes, your medevacs are going to be a little later to the party, but what you will have is plenty of Marines out there to deal with any early kind of aggression.
He's again fast expanding on the low ground, Kev. Duck also getting his Nexus down nice and early this time.
Yeah, so nothing crazy so far. Similar opening from Duck, but from this point on we always have to ask ourselves, where is he going to take this?
Little probe tried to end the life of an SCV, but he got away.
It's kind of sad, man. Workers should stick together.
Probe has a, oh, look at this guy. He's out for blood.
The other probe on the other side of the map, he has his taser ready already. It's going to run up to him and shock him in his neck.
The little probe that could. I think I can. I think I actually know. He gives up.
2 additional Rexes going down in the main base of Innovation, just like I predicted, which obviously wasn't a very hard thing to predict after the 1 Rex fast expand opening. Very safe opening, just lots of Marines been early on. Innovation wants to get out as many units as possible, because you'd rather be safe than sorry in game 5 on BlizzCon. And that's the understatement of the century.
I think we can agree on that.
No, Duck, no! In game number 5, actually I want to say 3, in game number 5, Duck is going to go up to 3 bases at the 5-minute and 20-second mark. Are you for real?
Not sure
this can go
what
2
to
ways.
Make of this.
This can go 2 ways, man. Either he's going to survive to a certain phase in the game, and of course Tim is going to be a little later with this opening. This is Duck just immediately adapting to Innovation, adapting to him, and I must say that's some crazy high-level play here. This is a super ballsy move by Duck, but if he's able to stabilize on 3 bases, which won't be easy, but if he does it, he's going to go into the mid game with a massive economic advantage.
Notice the positioning on that mothership core. It is poised to intercept scouts.
Yep, he has the Zelnaga control as well on the south side, so there's no way that Innovation is going to scout this 3rd base early on without Duck being aware of it.
Where's that scan?
It's in the main.
In the main base. And Funka's got some skills. You see how he's found that?
Yeah.
He clicked on Innovation's building, saw his vision, and then he could see the scan on the mini.
Funka's ahead of the meta, man.
This is like top This is why he's one of the world's
Oh my
best
God,
observers.
Innovation completely misreading this. He's afraid right now. If you guys wonder why the second bunker on Earth, is because Innovation just threw down a scan and he saw almost nothing. So Innovation is like, there's a pylon tucked in a corner with 5 gateways around it. The ultimate Artosis pylon is out somewhere. Second scout going down as well. He's second scan going down.
Has he pieced it together yet? Does he realize what's happening?
I think he's safe to say.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he canceled the bunkers because he's like, what? 2 gateways in production and a Twilight console?
Wow.
What is going on over here? I think he's still confused, don't get me wrong.
Now he sees stalkers. Will he rebuild the bunkers?
No. He's probably thinking right now that it's a similar opening to Whirlwind, or maybe even to Belcher, that he just somehow missed the Robo. He's definitely confused. Stim is about to finish up, and it's going to be very good for Innovation Ben if he decides to move out without medevacts, which is normally not something you want to do. You want to cherish those Marines early on. You want to babysit those boys until they can do the massive economic damage that you're looking for when they get dropped out of a medevac. This time, however, it would be much better for Innovation if he sends out these bio units before those medevacs are out.
Up to 50 probes now. Duck has almost bought the time he needs. Templar Archives going down, and Innovation does not look like he's going to be pushing out on the map anytime soon. He's going to take out these rocks.
Well, if there was ever a way to enter the mid-game for Duck while not being behind Ben, this is definitely it. He's 3 bases, ridiculously quick. His gas income is going to explode as soon as he saturates all his simulators. He does need a little more time, but I think by the time that Innovation has put the pieces together and be like, you know what, I think you're on to 3 bases, I think it's going to be too late to do something about it, unless his micro and drop control is just godlike, which we know he's capable of.
It can be. For the first time this map, Innovation pushes out towards the center. He's got a very respectable bioforce in play.
Duck needs units ASAP. As we can see, 22 army supply against 40. This is very scary. But with photon overcharge, this is a deficit that you can overbridge, man. This is something that you can live with, and it shouldn't be impossible to survive up to the next phase in the game.
Single scouting Marine will see nothing at this location, and Innovation should now realize exactly what he's up against. Yeah. Duck sees the army of Innovation, and what is he going to be able to do about it? He's oh man, this is such a small force.
I mean, with a Guardian Shield, he does have charge ban. He just needs a little more time for 1 additional warp in. There's photon overcharge here as well. It's hard for Innovation to make this work. He's going to try, though.
Might find himself pinned back, but the Mothership Core is nowhere near position. He's going to pick off this Nexus. It's going to go right down, and immediately Innovation should just fight.
Oh, he can kill the Nexus again, maybe.
Nope, he's going to pick up and get out of there.
Oh,
feedback is not going to be...
Let's keep the high Templars alive, but still not too bad for Duck Ben. Sure, losing the Nexus sucks a little bit, but if we take a look at the worker count, he's still on 66 probes against 53 SCVs. He picked off a lot of bio units there. Smart play by Innovation, dropping those bio units on top of that ramp or cliff.
Keeps the Marauder alive, and
Duck shouldn't move out too much though, because his army right now, as crazy as it is not very good in a straight up fight. He has a unit that will deal a lot of damage, but not a lot of units that can finish off units. Oh my god, he's going to counter-attack, and that might actually be...
At the same time, he's going to be getting dropped by these 2 medevacs.
Oh god, here we go again. Game number 5, man. It all comes down to this. Everything comes out to this, and it's going to be very, very hectic and very close regardless. Innovation kind of needs these units at home, man. He needs to deal...
oh man, it's going to be so close. Here comes Duck crashing into the ramp. The first bunker's going to fall. 2 more bunkers behind it, but Storm's going to rain down on the units that are here. It could end right now. Storm on the SCVs. Every single worker's going to fall, but the bunkers do complete.
Photon overcharge saving the day at home.
Oh, but no units back at home. This last bunker's going to fall. Oh my god, 3 Marines and 2 Marauders are all that stands between Duck and one of the biggest upsets possible this tournament. Innovation is raising the natural expansion to the ground, but his own natural has been crushed. This single Marauder is not going to be able to save the day.
Duck is losing a lot of workers on the other side of the map as well, Ben. This one Archon is extremely low in HP. Duck not reinforcing anymore either. Not that rich.
Oh,
you know, this is still a very close game.
Zealots have crushed this expansion. Duck still on 3 bases. Will he try to get up this ramp? I don't think that's going to happen. And he is going to have to back off. So Duck retreats home.
We don't mind getting a shot off as well. Innovation right now, despite being down 30 workers, I do think he finds himself in a pretty good position, as army supply is quite a bit in favor of Innovation. He's still dropping as well. Okay, he's going to have to back off with this aggression. Innovation is down 26 workers, Ben, but I do you think he has a small window of opportunity to do something about that?
It's 3 bases to 3. Economically, we can definitely say that DuckDuck has put himself ahead. His upgrades are also very good. We see, is that +3 armor on the way? So that's only +2 armor.
Yes.
So not as good as I thought. These medevacs! One of them will get shot down, but luckily it was only a few units inside.
Maybe this medevac is going to be able to do some damage here, but Innovation decides he needs every single unit right now.
Look how fast these guys are playing, just burning up their keyboards. Both of them know the gravity, the importance of this situation. Innovation's going to push forward.
There are like no observers out on the map at all, so Widow Mines are a pretty smart choice. This Widow Mine is going to get a pretty juicy shot off. A lot of splash damage on those additional Zealots. This is a dicey situation for DuckDuck, but actually I think it should be fine. And run-bys as well.
That's going to be brutal. Nothing at home to defend. Every single one of these SCVs could end up biting the dust. We see a few units stimming and running back, trying to save the day. And they do ultimately show up in time. Meanwhile, Innovation setting up a nice concave outside the natural expansion of DuckDuck.
Is playing with fire. There are so many storms here.
Storm does go down. Widow Mine will fire on these Zealots. Another good storm landing on the Marauders, and Innovation is going to have to give up this position. A storm on the medevacs, but they will get away.
It's not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. Taking a look at the upgrades for Innovation, we can see that he is at 1-1. I don't think he has an armory ban because this has been such a crazy game. There is no armory for Innovation. He needs to kill some probes. Otherwise, I think DuckDuck is going to spiral out of control.
Innovation only now started making SCVs again. Drop trying to make his way into the back of the
that's not going to work.
This is a dangerous place to be. And that medevac will continue.
What it does do, Ben, is he keeps DuckDuck on the other side of the map, and that's definitely something that Innovation needs, because Innovation needs time. He's going crazy now with drops all over the place. He's playing with fire. This couldn't go either. He's going to win the game here. He's going to win the series.
Oh, dropping behind the natural.
Or he's going to lose so many bio units.
Feedback on that medevac means no heals in the main base.
The third base,
should clean it up. The third is pretty exposed. There are a few units here to try and defend. Innovation is being so aggressive with so few units. But it's actually starting to work. Storms are coming down. DuckDuck making the defense of his life will force these medevacs to lift and evacuate. Still damage being dealt in the natural. That Nexus almost goes down the medevac.
Oh my god, Innovation sacrificed so many units that I think that DuckDuck is going to try to counter. Innovation does have some units on the other side of the map as well, but he has no Ghost. He doesn't have 2-2 upgrades either. Innovation kind of just feels like I'm going to have to make this work with 1-1 bio units.
Oh my god.
This is going to be a very tough hold for Innovation. I'm not even sure if it's a possible hold.
He's down 20 army supply, and a lot of it is on the wrong side of the map. 4 High Templar being warped in. I'm guessing those are going to be Archons. Yes, sir.
War Prism, I think, in the main as well. That's going to be a world of trouble for Innovation. Innovation is going to have to retreat to his main.
Huge Widow Mine explosion, but here comes DuckDuck.
Here come all the storms.
And there's lots of energy for Storm raining down all over the bio. Every single Marine and Marauder has been touched by these storms.
But Innovation so far hanging in there pretty well, Ben. He's cleaning up a lot of these units. He's killing a crazy amount of probes on the other side of the map.
So many Immortals and Archons still alive in his natural dropping.
Oh my god, Innovation is playing sick though, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. As you said, so many Archons, but Archons can't really run up this cliff, can they?
No, they can't. The command center is burning. Photon overcharge has expired in the natural expansion. These Marauders are trying to shoot down this base.
Oh, Storm, like, Innovation can't really run down that ramp either, because Storm could land of it. Finally, Innovation will lose those units that were active. These 3 Zealots have been active for a very long time as well.
They've done a ton of damage, and these transferring SCVs are also going to go down. Every single worker here is going to fall, and this is going to be further hindrance to the economy of Innovation, down to just 18 SCVs. How in the world does he stay alive? These Archons are all so incredibly low. Oh man, medevacs caught in transit. One of them will fall. The second one is also going to go down. Another nice pickup for DuckDuck. He's 140 supply to 80.
Man, all that DuckDuck needs to do right now is just chill. He needs to fall back, warp in a couple of High Templars, gather up a little bit of energy, and then I think he should be fine. Innovation knows that he is in a world of trouble. He's going to try to focus down the Templar Archives. It's just not going to work. DuckDuck is so rich. Yes, he lost a lot of probes throughout the entire game, but he's still on 3 bases. He has so many High Templars. He's gathering up energy. He has 5 of them at the moment. He has charge. He has an upgrade advantage. Oh. Innovation wins this game. It's the sickest game that he ever won in his life.
Well, it's going to be very difficult. He's down 60 supply right now, and DuckDuck confident enough to be building workers. Innovation's going to load up some medevacs, and they're going to fly right over some High Templar, fortunately for Innovation. there was not much energy on those medevacs.
But still, Ben, this army from Duck is once more making its way across the map. There are 6 High Templars with Storms. Most of these Archons have regenerated as well. So there were like 3 Archons which were down.
Oh, man, that's very scary. Innovation, I don't know how he thinks he's going to win this game without 3 medevacs full of units. And looks like they are not going to completely cross the map. Here comes Duck once again. Pushing forward into the natural. This orbital is probably going to go down.
Innovation is going to try to flank this army, but there are so many Archons and Immortals and Storms, Ben. Finale is doing the impossible. Everyone thought Innovation was going to win this series.
Hold your breath, Kev. I think it's about to be over. Innovation's army is in a very difficult spot. Half of it behind Finale's army. The other half defending in the natural. These Marauders are completely caught out of nowhere, and Innovation's just losing units for free, trying to run Duck away. Perhaps trying to create a fight out in the middle of the map. I'm not sure what he's thinking here. Oh my God, the flank coming. So many Zealots will come crashing into these units. And Storm raining down on some of these Marauders. GG! Duck has upset Innovation with a score of 3-2 and advances on to the WCS Global Finals round of 8.
I can't believe what we've just seen.
I can't believe what I've just said. As Duck
there was one man in this building,
doesn't even smile, man.
There was one man in this room that sincerely believed that Duck was going to win this series, and that was Red Eye. And
now you have to kiss his feet.
Yes, I promised that I would kiss his feet if he was right. Unbelievable series, man. And I think that Artosis, I think it was Artosis who said this once, it's probably like the most accurate quote ever to describe this series. The cheesiest thing a cheesy player can do is play a macro game.
Yeah.
And I mean, 3 Nexus at the 5-minute mark. Innovation throwing down 2 scans, still kind of misreading what's going on. And by the time that he finally figured it out, Innovation he was just fighting an uphill battle. Insane performance by Duck, and you gotta love the underdog, man.
Yeah, just unbelievable, man. Duck takes out Innovation. No one is gonna, if you weren't watching, they're gonna be like, what? But it was it was an amazing series. Went up 2-0 very quickly. Innovation fought back, evened it up at 2-2, but at the end of the day, Duck was just a little bit too strong, and it is he who will stand atop the heap in the round of 8.
I can't help to feel still that it was more Innovation losing the series and Duck really winning the series. Of course, Duck played fantastic in Game 5, and I really enjoyed watching him, even though Innovation played his heart out as well in Game 5. He was working with so little, but still trying to make magic happen, dropping all over the place. It was awesome to watch. But those first 2 games, I felt those were such unnecessary losses for Innovation. It's just a complete, underreacting to what he think what was going on, and just playing like a little careless. Like you can't play. I mean, then again, like the champions do cut a lot of corners, and that's why they are the champions, because they cut the right corners on the right moment. But getting a bunker on Whirlwind, I don't feel like is going to set you back that much. So skipping that bunker is going to put you in a great position. Awesome execution by the builds, or from the builds.
Yeah.
By Duck.
From Duck, yeah. Great play from Duck. He moves on. We're going to move on to a short break. Guys, we'll be back with a lot more StarCraft 2 from the WCS Global Finals from BlizzCon.
The Zerg swarm came as was foretold. And the Protoss, firstborn of the gods, rose to fight them. Now, the Xel'Naga that forged us all are returning. What do they come to save? Or to destroy?
Eventually.
Your very presence defiles this place, Kerrigan.
Do you hear them, Zeratul? Whispering from the stars. The galaxy will burn with their coming.
Perhaps. But you won't live to see it.
Please. Our petty conflicts mean nothing now. The storm is coming that cannot be stopped. Fitting that we should face oblivion together.
Never!
Fate cannot be changed. The end comes. And when it finds me, I shall embrace it at last.
The prophecy is uncertain. There is always hope.
Hell yeah!
I am the swarm. Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn. this world. Vengeance shall be mine. For I am the Queen of Blades.
Together, we vanquish. Clever.
Hello again, this is Cloakin, the community manager for StarCraft 2, and I want to introduce an exciting new feature called spawning. Have you ever wanted to simply play StarCraft with a friend, but they didn't have the full game? Or maybe you're a Starter Edition user and simply want to find out how you can get more out of the game while playing with your friends. Well, spawning is perfect for you. Those who don't own StarCraft 2 will want to try out Starter Edition. It's a free way to play the game and available to anyone who has a Battle.net account. If you want to take advantage of spawning, or you just want to try the game out, simply download and install StarCraft 2 from your Battle.net account management page. If you'd like more details about Starter Edition, feel free to check out this video before continuing on with the one that you're watching now. So let's talk spawning. In short, spawning is an easy way to allow someone with a full copy of StarCraft 2 to share their game with a friend for free. Some of you old-time Blizzard RTS players might remember that back in the heydays of Warcraft 2 and StarCraft 1, we actually did something similar. Back then, as long as you had a copy of the retail game disc, you could bring others in to play with you who had never purchased the game. It was an awesome way to introduce friends to these games and play alongside them. Well, we're excited because today we add to this tradition by bringing this functionality to StarCraft 2, only without the need for all the disk drives. If you currently own a copy of Heart of the Swarm, you can now spawn up any player who is either playing from Starter Edition or Wings of Liberty and give them access to the newest expansion. Pretty sweet. Essentially, the experience is a lot like that of a normal Starter Edition user, but with multiplayer modes and options added in. Here's a quick summary of these additions. All versus AI modes are unlocked, including team games. Spawned players have access to the unranked and ranked ladder play for team games. You also have complete access to all custom game maps. And finally, they have complete access to the arcade. So how exactly does spawning work? Well, that's actually one of the best parts. All of this content is available for free simply by partying up with a friend who owns a full version of the game. Let's take a look. Here you can see the screen of my friend Spirion, who, for the sake of this demonstration, will be playing the part of our Starter Edition user. So at this point, Spirion has downloaded Starter Edition from his Battle.net account, and we're now logged in on StarCraft 2 at the same time. As you can see, Spirion and I are connected as friends over Battle.net, and you can easily do this by using the Add Friend feature in your friends list here. I'm going to go ahead and invite Spirion to party up with me in-game. Here in the party window, you can now see that the UI shows his account level as being raised to that of my Heart of the Swarm account. At this point, Spirion and I can move through the various modes and game options to play in whatever way we like. We can even hop onto the unranked or ranked ladders to use the matchmaker and play against other people on Battle.net. As long as Spirion remains in the party with me, he will be able to play with me at my access level. Then, whenever he decides it's time to leave the party, he will simply return to his Starter Edition access level naturally. There are a few features unavailable to spawned players that are probably helpful to point out. These features include access to the single-player campaign, the full experience of social features like clans and groups, as well as the ability to choose which race you want to play. Just like Starter Edition users, spawned players will only have access to the currently active Starter Edition race, which, at the time this video was recorded, is set to Terran. If you're a spawned player and want the full game, you can use the upgrade button found here. There's no need to download any additional version of the game. Just upgrade your account using Battle.net account management on the web, and then log back into StarCraft 2. That's pretty much spawning in a nutshell. Simple, easy to use, and innately social. Here are a couple of things to keep in mind about this feature. Spawning will also work for people who own Wings of Liberty versions of StarCraft 2. If you would like to share a StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty with a friend, you can spawn them up in the same way we've mentioned in this walkthrough. Only keep in mind that the content and balance will reference the Wings of Liberty version of StarCraft 2. You can spawn multiple friends. Currently, party size is capped at 15 players, which means you can spawn up to 14 other people at one time from your individual purchased copy of the game. Lastly, for Heart of the Swarm players, spawning is a perfect way to take advantage of the recent 25% experience bonus we've added for playing with friends in the expansion. Anytime you play games with a friend that you are connected to via Real ID or Battle Tag, you will receive a 25% increase in experience gained during that game. There is no cap to the amount of experience you can gain this way, so definitely take advantage of it. As you can imagine, we're pretty excited about spawning in StarCraft 2. It is an ideal way to bring your friends along for the ride and show them just how fun StarCraft 2 is. Definitely hop in game, try it out, and let us know what you think. If you want to go ahead and pick up Starter Edition, you can find that easily by clicking the link below. Thanks for watching, and spread the word about spawning. My name is Cloaken, and from all of us here at Blizzard Entertainment, we'll talk to you soon.
thought that'll do nicely.
Kerrigan, we've neutralized the Protoss, but there's a wave of Zerg advancing on this position. We need immediate evac.
Belay that order. We're moving out.
What? You're not just gonna leave us?
All ships prepare to move away from Tarsonis on my mark.
Boys, how about that evac?
Damn you, Arcturus. Don't do this.
It's done. Helmsman, signal the fleet and take us out of orbit. Now!
Commander. Jim? What the hell's going on up there?